Okay, hey, I'm Thorsten, as Wiedemann. I'm founder and director of Amaze, and I just want to make a short introduction because I mean all this kind of disconnected thing just happened because I do Amaze. So I'm going to tell a little bit of Amaze so that you know where it comes from and where I come from. It's going to be a personal talk, a very personal talk, and I'm going to as well tell you some secrets. So you can follow me. So if you say this talk is shit, just say it there. And this is the brand. This is Amaze. It's a label. What is established 2008 is an international label for independent games, adventurous play, and alternative digital dimensions. So the dimensions are the virtual dimensions, maybe. I do since 2009. I do festivals. This is the last one in Berlin. It was in April, and this is in about 3 weeks in Johannesburg. With the festivals, especially in Berlin and Johannesburg, I'm trying to make a bridge between European game developers and African game developers. So in Johannesburg we also bring European game developers, that they network with the African game developers, that they see that they are not alone. The festival has as well an award. We have conference, we have workshops and everything. What is very important that they can exchange the experience, their skills, everything as well, a little bit of business, but we are more on the creative side, and this is something what is also very, very important, because I mean, I like to create a kind of a culture around games and not a business around games. And I think it's very important because as well, Nintendo and whatever, these big companies with the big consoles, they're also coming to the festivals and they see the games there, and actually these are the platforms where these guys, the game developers, want to sell it. So, but on my festival, I don't want to talk about monetization. So, if you like, you can come to Joburg. So it's from August 31st to September 3rd. And I also do some international collaborations and pop-ups and artists in residence, like Rijeka. So Vladan is here. We know each other since, I don't know, since 2012 done. And it was the Republica Festival. So in São Paulo, I work with Goethe Institute together, do some game jams, 48 hours game jams, where people working together on a topic and creating games. So it's just for fun, and also it's community building, and this is something what is very important in a medium what is pretty new, what is really, really something where you can, it's something where it's not so established like the film industry or the film business. It's something where the medium was very young, even when it's started in the 70s, but it's very, 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 very young, where you actually can do whatever you want and experience the technology and also work with the technology as you want, and you can create a new world. So this is all the stuff what we also do. Also we have a magazine. It's the Amaze magazine. You can read it online. It's a magazine on paper, on newspaper, paper. So next year I want to make a reload that we have really thick books, you know, with, I don't know, 300 pages. So everything, because for me it's important to doing Amazes that I actually archive this movement, this alternative games movement, because I think it's very important as well for the future, for my kid who's going to be the VR designer of the future. So I mean, this is something what is very important. They want to show back what happened, what was happening this time, and this is something what is very important. You have it in all this kind of media, and I try to make my best with Amaze. So if you like to follow Amaze Fest, yes. Everybody knows what it is? No? You don't take LSD? No? Who took LSD? I did. Several times, many times. I don't know how often. I had maybe I'm still on the trip. No, but I mean, Amaze and trips, LSD and virtual reality. This glasses, the HTC Vive, when this came out last year, and everything, all these three components together made this disconnected happen. So HTC Vive, does anybody who knows something about virtual reality? Did some of you guys tried virtual reality? Yes, yes, good, good. Do you like it? Cool. I mean, it's really something what is sensational. It's something what is new. It's brand new. It's a technology what can become, with the technology you can create a new art form. Something what is not existing now at the moment. Everybody's trying something and find a way how to tell stories or how interaction can happen. But I think it's also a possibility where theater, performance art, where different kind of disciplines, also filmmakers, can actually work then with game developers together. Before it was always separate, nobody wanted to talk to each other because they were kind of, yeah, you earn more money, bigger business, I don't know. And actually we don't, because I mean, games, this is for children, right? I mean, we do movies. And with the virtual reality, you can change this. Suddenly it becomes serious. So, and this is something what I wanted to do with Disconnected. So you can watch the documentary later. So Disconnected was a kind of an idea when I got this. I knew all the other glasses before, the Oculus DK1, the Oculus DK2, and then the HTC Vive DK1 came out, and it had this kind of room scale. So it was with the lighthouses. So to actually have 5 by 5 meter, you can walk around. So, and you actually can zoom in and you can walk around. And I mean, it's really, it's that you have the feeling that you breathe. You can walk, you can live in this world. And you also, the new one is, you have a controller. You don't have a game controller, you have a real new controller, this kind of the handheld controllers. So, where you actually have hands in this world. Before you had the game controller and you had just your eyes were in the world and you're kind of interacting with the world a little bit by whatever jump points. So you have to look for a second on one point and then it goes to the next step. But with this controller, you actually could physically go there. You can lift something, you can throw something, you can build something, you can scale something, you can draw something like in Tilt Brush. And this is something what is completely new. And I was thinking, okay, I never did something like that before for 48 hours. So, and I think nobody did before. So I was actually the first human who experienced such a kind of amazing trip. And yeah, I think the preparation is very important for that. So I did the night before, I did an enema, so to clean out. I took a little bit of sleep because, I mean, it's important just to get relaxed. And this was my travel set. So I had this Johnny V it's called. I had aspirin because maybe I can't get headaches, strong headaches. I ate a lot of stuff what is just like, that's blocking, that I have to go on toilet. That helps, chocolate and bananas. I had a lot of coffee, because coffee is also uplifting. I don't want to take real drugs, because it was kind of, yeah, I don't know, too dangerous maybe. Maybe next time. And Imodium acute is very, very strong. Imodium acute is very, very strong. It blocks. It blocks. It really works well. So I took a kind of an overdose, I guess, because the other 3 days I couldn't do it. and I had this kind of special food what you can drink. After 1 day, I was just eating pizza and everything. So because it was already everything blocked. And actually, the first time when I created this kind of concept of Disconnected, that I'm gonna show the people what can happen in 2026, because now the year of 2016 is the year where all this kind of virtual reality comes to the people. You can buy the glasses, and in 2026, people are lying there. They're dreaming their dreams, their lucid dreams. And this is something what I was trying to show them. I mean, in a way, I had the time to really, I had the time to play around the world. I had 48 hours to play crazy things it was mostly prototypes. And prototypes are kind of really shitty. So some of them are extremely bad. And I wanted as well to have a kind of an infusion. So because I wanted to do it real. So I was talking to a doctor, I want to have an infusion and stuff like that, but then if you move and if you sweat and stuff like that, maybe you get kind of, I don't know, how it's called in English. But I mean, it's, you can hurt yourself. And then I said, okay, maybe next time when I just lie down. And water was also very important. Yes, fashion. Fashion was also a very important point, because it should be I was thinking Disconnected could be something iconic, you know, something can generate something what people can look at. So, and I wanted to be beautiful. So I choose the Swanseas, and and this adiletten in a snow leopard design. It's very beautiful. Not so comfortable, but it's fantastic. It was looking awesome. It was everywhere in the press. Good, nice pictures for that. So, and yeah, for the concept, I also, because I couldn't do it alone, so I invented the kind of the terms VR-naut, comes from astronaut, you know, this kind of explorers of the universe. And then you have the VR shaman, the guy or the person who knows how to guide, you know, a little bit more spiritual. So when you took Piotr or something like that, you know what I talk about. So you have this kind of leader, you know, you have a fallback. You have somebody who knows how technology works in this case. And because I have no idea, I'm not a VR designer, I'm not good in tech, so I'm not a programmer. I have no clue. I have just ideas, but I need someone who takes care of me because I mean it's experiment, a human experiment. I could die, so people said I could die, and actually it was very close, but it comes later. So it was in January 8-10 in Game Science Center because I wanted to make a public event. A public event is I wanted to be a public exhibit in a kind of a museum. Because I wanted to bring it to the people. I don't want to hide it somewhere in a room and it's just streamed and everybody's looking at me. I also did something like that, but I mean, it's for me, it's important that the people are close to me, so that they see this is a person who is doing that. So, and people can look at me and they can reflect, they can get inspired, because it's a new technology. Anything can happen in the future in the use of technology. So I wanted to give a kind of a, how you say, a mirror or a projection, so that people can look at me and they just like, maybe, yeah, 2026, couldn't look like that. They're gonna wear this pink onesies, they're connected, whatever, with bioports and stuff like that, you know? Just like, I mean, I just open up for conversation with this performance. So this was the setup. This kind of round around Paravon, this was my place where I went to toilet when I need to go. And we had a sofa, we had whatever, 15 square meter, and yeah, we had a good time there in this 15 square meters. We both, Sarah, Lisa Vogel, she was my VR shaman. She helped us well a lot with design and then with the concept, and she also curated a whole program for me. So I had 40 different worlds I was experiencing. She also invited me to social VR, so to meet friends. She invited people, hey, you have to meet Thorsten there. So I also had some other people from around the world playing mini golf and all this kind of stuff. It was very interesting. So how this virtual reality really works, especially, I mean, I'm talking later about that. So I had live audience and I have a live streaming. So on YouTube we streamed it. I don't know how many clicks it was, something like 25,000 or something. So I mean, there was kind of an interest. And we actually didn't do big promotion. And we didn't want it to go for Guinness World Records or something like that, because I don't care. Actually, I don't care. I do it for the arts, you know. I'm not doing it for records. So this is for me very important. Everybody's telling me, yeah, but you can do it now. You still can call them, and because you can prove we have all this live stream, you had this wearable thing. Now the world record is by 25 hours, but I said this already on Twitter. So even if nobody's reading Twitter or my Twitter feed, but I said it there, I do it for the arts and not for the records. So I should stay on that. So I was sleeping as well. I had a sleeping circle. Each day I was sleeping for 2 hours. And I was in this wonderful world. It's called Lucid Trips. Sarah, Lisa Vogel, she's doing this with of course with a team, the game Lucid Trips, where you are in a zero gravity world and you're walking on your hands and you have to collect diamond-looking eggs, and you have to, yeah, and this is very beautiful. And she built a kind of a cage on top of the mountain. So I was going up the mountain, I was climbing up the mountain always when I wanted to go to sleep, and then I was lying in this cage. I had a very nice sky. It was beautiful, and then I closed my eyes and I was sleeping, dreaming for 2 hours, and then I woke up. It was still the same. So it was not so special. I was thinking then, whoa, I'm not in reality. So, but it was reality, so it's normal. When you're traveling a lot, I mean, you know, I mean, you go to bed there, you wake up, it's still the same, so it doesn't matter if it's virtual reality or it's reality. So, but then, 25 hours. I had a panic attack. I usually have panic attacks as well in reality, but this was in the virtual reality. In the reality, I had a panic attack. So, and this was different because usually I don't want it to put the glasses down because I mean I wanted to stay there for 48 hours. So I had this kind of challenge. I had this kind of struggle. Like normal life, it's I just want to go. I go with a taxi. I go home. You know, I go to bed. Maybe I take some tranquilizers and then I'm fine. So, but in this case, I was in this virtual reality. Everybody was watching YouTube. I had a little bit of pressure, but I mean it's still like yeah. I want to stay, I want to do it, I want to do it. And I had this kind of heartbeat was rising, and I had the feeling that I'm dying. Maybe if people have panic attacks, maybe they know what I'm talking about. So, but I mean, you can get out of it. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. There is a kind of a cycle of thoughts, what you can work on, and then you're out. But this was kind of special because I had these glasses, and this kind of panic attack lasts for 2 hours, so it was pretty hard. So I was very relieved when I just came out there alive. So the experience and the reflection on that, mind and body, everything is okay. So I had a good time in there. So even the eyes, everything was working. Still now I have a little bit of problem with the focus. I don't know why, if it's from this, but the body, of course, I didn't hurt. I mean, you can think that this virtual reality couch is the real couch, and then you sit down. It happened, but I didn't hurt. So the duration, it's in a way it's doable, 48 hours, but it makes sense to go on toilet and eat really good stuff, and you know, having a good time. Or you have this kind of infusion, and you actually stay there. So and somebody's taking care of the shit and everything. So the setup was also fine. Everything was working well with the technology, as well with the setup that I had the VR shaman. It was very important. Without her, I couldn't make it through because she was really helping me through the hard time, through the panic attack. She was giving me some massage. She brought me some water for everywhere. So and everything. She was also reading tweets, and so that it's just like. But it was also stressful to have the setup in this public space, because being in a public space, there's always people talking, you know, and you can't see them. You just hear them talking all the time. And then you have these other exhibits, which are kind of noisy, because I mean it's a kind of a they have interactive installations, game installations, and they have sound. It's noisy. So and every time when somebody was playing this dancing game, and I always had to hear that, it was insane. It was not good for my mind. Technology, I think the technology is ready for that. I mean, it's not the best technology, but I was thinking it's good already for doing this kind of long trips. I think nobody has to do 48 hours, but I think a long trip, I mean, if you take an LSD trip or something, it's maybe between 8 and 16 hours or something like that. And I mean, this is the duration. I think this is something where if I'm gonna do it again, I mean, having 8 hours in a world, I think it could change my life, could blast my mind. So, and this is something what is virtuality for me. It should as well influence me. It's not just like a place for interaction and doing some childish things. It's really something I want to have something serious happen there, what is kind of mind-changing. The software, as I'm saying, is not ready now. So I mean, they have cool things for playing and interacting and doing funny stuff. And of course, the VR, social VR is also cool. It's great to have it. So because I mean, you have this connection with other people. You have this feeling that you are not alone. But you had it already in Second Life. You had it in whatever. When you play World of Warcraft, you have it as well. So the only difference is that you are in the space, you can turn around 360 degrees, and I mean, it's in a way, it's good, but I think it's not the best. So I would say, if I have the money or something like that, or if somebody gives me the money, I want to create my own worlds. So it's something actually, how do you say, customized worlds. So, and I'm invited to TECH Mexico. I don't know if it's happening, so because I mean we're struggling with the budget, but I'm gonna do the next VR trip at TECH Mexico. So it's a music festival, electronic music festival. I'm gonna be in this chill out room. I have my own space. I'm on a stage, so I'm gonna be in a glass cage. I'm half naked in a glass cage, and I'm in this world in deep VR. It's a very nice underwater world, and you control your movement through body breathing. So the only thing what people who are getting into this room, they see me half nakedly lying there. What I see as well, the world, so the deep VR, what I'm exploring, and they're gonna hear the breathing. There's nothing else. So I was thinking, making a place where meditation is happening when somebody is meditating. And these are kind of my missions. So my visions, yeah. Trips with friends, everybody knows existence. So I think you can have virtual reality, you can make more intense when you share it with people. But I'm not talking about social VR, I'm talking about real worlds where something is happening, where there's a story behind, or where you can create your own story. And this is something what is missing at the moment, but I think in the future is something, hey, with a group of friends, let's go somewhere and having some fun. Let's, No Man's Sky, this game comes out now. Now there's whatever, how many billion different planets you have. And you go with your friends and just discover some different planets. I think it's just beautiful. It's a good idea. And it has not to be so hard like in existence. And then strange days for individual trips. So all this gonna happen. Others' vision, I think they're gonna use virtual reality maybe for correction or something like that, or for healing, or I don't know. My vision is we have maybe 2 different kind of VR spaces, like opium places, or something like in Naked Lunch you have this heroin places, so something like that where the people hang out and people are caring during the time you are on the trip. Yeah, so my call is don't mess with the future of our kids. Think about it. Thank you.